At a time when the world was focused on something entirely different, at a time when we have taken a sigh of relief when we met what history had to say about the work of Mary Slessor, who gave her life to end the killing of twins in Calabar land. A friend of mine called me a few weeks ago, Anye Kambasi, and said to me, Mr. Michael, do you believe that there are some communities in Abuja that still kill twins? I said, I don't believe. She said she visited one of those communities that same day, Kiyi village, precisely in Kuje area council, and she met with a missionary that runs a home with his wife, and they've been there for over 20 years. They've been able to rescue a lot of people, a lot of children from infanticide. After we saw some of those children that have been rescued, after we established the reality of this story, we decided to give our lives to this cause, to see to it that we end infanticide in Abuja.
But now, yes, so.
My name is Michael Legend Babalola. I'm the founder of MLHARI. That's Michael Legend Hope and Relief Initiative. One of the steps we took was to start visiting communities, and so we visited Keda community. One of the things we found in Keda village in the interior of Gwagwalada was the twin altar. The twin altar is believed that anywhere it is found, a set of twins have been sacrificed in that compound or in that place before. And we were told by a reliable source that in some localities you can count up to 12-15 twin altars. That begin to tell you or give you an impression of some of the things that has been going on under our nose. These things are real. When we told people, we told some of our friends, some of our partners, some of them don't believe, but we have gathered facts, we have gathered figures, and we have been able to prove that some of these things are real.
From the initial stage, even establishing the story was not very easy because the Abuja indigenes, those practicing it, when we first got to know about it, they didn't come up to let us know that it was true until one of them, who was a former traditionalist also, decided to change and move away from traditional worship to Christianity. And then he started pointing our attention to what we refer to as the twin altars, which was started giving us insight to how this practice actually go on. And it was tough for them to accept, but by the time we discovered that it was true and we had the opportunity of saving the first child in 1996, that was a breakthrough. And then from then we now push more into those villages where we work to find out if we can also discover other places. And we move from village to village, we discover that it's happening everywhere. And then the children themselves, the initial stage, we are not aware of all that they do, to kill the children. Like we were not unaware of the fact that they poison them until later when we discovered that we rescue twins but they don't survive. And we give them the best of care, we provide food. And it was later we discovered that actually before some children are even given to you, they have been poisoned. So you just be struggling with them. But now we know better.
Mr. Stevens and his wife, they've done and they are still doing a very wonderful job. They need our support. And that was why we took it upon ourselves to also give our lives to this cause. That is why also we established the twin campaign, so that we can make a lot of noise to the point of intervention. But in our own little way, we are willing to contribute to see to it that we end this evil. One of the approaches we took was when we got to Keda village, we didn't go there to ask them that we heard that you are killing twins. Is it true? We wanted to know what was going on with these people. We wanted to know what they were feeling. We wanted to understand their challenges. And one of those challenges, or some of those challenges, was the fact that they don't have access to good water. The place where they drink, bathe and wash from, the stream, most of us couldn't wash our hands in that same stream, but that's where they drink water from. We saw a borehole system there that has been dead for donkey years, so we decided immediately that we are going to revitalize that borehole system and then give attention to their medical institutions. You know, they don't, as a matter of fact, they don't have no medical institution on ground. So each time pregnant women are challenged, they go to the village priest, who profile all manner of solutions that leads to all manner of challenges at the end of the day. And due to an epileptic medical system, when these mothers die in childbearing, the child is considered evil.
One of the things did not survive because it was too small, too tender, and premature when it came. So if they have all survived, we will be talking about 150. So, but we have 149, and it's not been easy because you bring in a little baby, like the last baby that came 1st of January. We were told by them that the baby has refused to feed for 5 days. The mother died, and for 5 days nobody gave that baby any food. And I asked them why. They said that it was not eating. And I can imagine what they would give. Number one, they don't have access to infant formula. And no surrogate mother will agree to breastfeed because of the consciousness and the evil tag on them. Even though you may have other pregnant women who just delivered about the same time in the village, you may volunteer to say, okay, as I'm nursing my learning, because that thing is still somehow there. So having to nurse babies is not an easy task at all, and some of them were brought forth almost quarter to death. But we do our best, and a lot of money. In fact, one of these twins, like this one, this second day after the arrival, we had to quickly take the baby to the hospital because we don't want anything to happen, and the baby was premature. So we asked them to examine. They said, well, the baby is stable, and they check every other thing.
Twins are not evil, albinos are not evil, children with deformity are not evil, children that lost their mom in childbearing are not evil, children that have the tendency of growing the upper tooth first are not evil, and so the community must stand for them. Thank God and thank Mr. Stevens and his wife for the good work done so far, but there's still a lot of work to do.
And I can hear them here.
If government can keep all the pressure and then sustain the enlightenment program. This practice has been there, only God knows how long, for over 500 years. And so it's not something you want to tackle in 1 year, or you just do one fire brigade approach, you do some in 1 year and say, we tackle it. You have to sustain it. Do something, go back. Do something, go back. That's what we are doing. Even when they told us we have stopped the killing of children, we don't just agree. Like the one of albino, we thought a community promised me that they stopped the killing of albino, only for them to kill one again. So even when they say we have stopped, we still have to go back and show they are really stopping. So that's for government, because they have the power and they have the connection, they have the willpower. And then part of the problem we have in Nigeria is implementation. We have the Child Rights Act in Nigeria that should forbid anyone from killing any child, but who are the people to implement it? And then so they need to pay attention to implementing that law across the nooks and crannies of Nigeria.
We do not only aspire to live, we always aspire to make a difference. This is a cause you have to be a part of. You really need to get involved. And so we need more people to support this cause. Go to those communities, enlighten them, media houses and what have you. For instance, one of the major challenges confronting some of these localities is lack of access to medical care. The government can look at 5, 6, 7 cluster communities, for example, and give them a vibrant medical institution so that women, mothers, pregnant women can have access to medical care on time. And when the multiple births are discovered, intervention plans are made before they are born and endangered. So a lot of things need to be done. The twin campaign, we are giving our lives to this. We need people to come on board, get our contacts, call us, ask questions as you will, and I believe together we are going to end the infanticide of twins in Africa, starting from Abuja. Thank you very much.